Hello, I'm John Rushing, the emotions expert. Today we're going to be talking about it's not my problem. I don't know if you've noticed, but when people talk to you today or general conversation, or particularly in the press and media, everybody's outlining certain things which are not going well, things which are not going well about themselves, about the world, about what's happened, about what they're doing, where they're going, what they're coming from, what they're experiencing, why they're tired, why they're sleepless, why they're anything you can possibly imagine. It's all, oh, it's all about me. Well, in reality, you don't need to know any of that because none of it has anything to do with you. It's not being thoughtless or selfish or self-centered or anything else. But why do you want to listen to other people rambling on aimlessly about themselves in a negative situation? Because it doesn't do you any good. All it does is bring you into their bubble, and it actually makes you feel low, makes you feel despondent. It's tiresome, it's exasperating, it's everything which you don't really want to do. When things go wrong, they go wrong. And there's an expression, is a problem shared, is a problem halved. Well, fair enough. But that doesn't mean you've got to tell every single person you meet and then keep updating it as if it's some kind of a soap opera. You don't. The more you talk about something, the more you give it gravitas. You give it arms and legs, and it starts to walk and crawl, and then it becomes a fixture in your mind. It becomes something which you are now compelled to regurgitate, and you then overthink on the situation. And the more moments you have to yourself, when you keep talking, you keep thinking about it, and it gives it even more gravitas than it had before. Don't listen to other people ramble on. Change the conversation, say something, interrupt them. It's not being rude. It's actually looking towards yourself. It's looking after yourself. It's looking to what you want to hear. You don't want to hear somebody go on again and again and again and then add to it. You've got other things to do. You have something which is very, very important. It's called your life. And your life doesn't include every Tom, Dick and Harry and what's gone wrong in theirs. Now, if it's friends and family or your partner, okay, you will listen, but you don't want to keep on listening, because if it could be that there's something in their makeup which makes them keep regurgitating it and going on and on and on. You don't need this. You want to make it quite clear that you're willing to listen once and that's it. Then deal with it, because life goes on. Life evolves. Evolution doesn't go on and on and on, dragging the past with it, because the past is dead and buried. Evolution creates the future. It creates where you want to go. It creates what you want to do. The moment you start to dwell on something, you lose foresight. You lose the ability to see creativity. You lose the ability to interact proficiently. You lose everything which is good and positive and wholesome and warm and loving and kind and happy, because happiness doesn't live in the past. Happiness lives in the future. Happiness is where you are now. It's what you decide. If you decide to be miserable, you will be miserable. If you decide to be happy, you will be happy. If you suddenly say, oh, how can I be happy when things are like this? That is you arguing with yourself and affirming that you've decided not to be happy because of these circumstances, which is stupid, because you are in charge of all your faculties. You are in charge of how you think, how you feel, what you see, what you want to do, what you want to wear, how you interact with other people, what you read. Everything. This is all about you. You can decide to be happy even in adversity. It may not be the best type of happiness you want, but you still can decide to be happy. This is not your problem about negativity. Negativity is going to happen whether you're happy or not. So you might as well actually decide to be happy, because then you will see the solution. You will make the negativity quite low in your mind. You reduce it to something which is very, very manageable, and almost in a way you can spit it out and think, well, that's it, finished. It's happened, it's gone, it wasn't very nice, but hey, tomorrow's something else. And if you're carrying on something from yesterday to tomorrow and the day after, you're perpetuating your own misery. And when you perpetuate your own misery, you make other people wary of you. And they think, why should I bother with that person? I never hear anything good from them. I never hear anything about what they're going to say. And don't have excuses. Well, I'm just going to say this. I don't really want to be negative, but don't say it. This is just you making an excuse to get off your chest what you've said already 4,000 times. So stop it. Stop all that right now. Choose to be happy. It's not your problem about negativity. You deal with what you deal with in life. There's nothing more you can do. Anything else is just a subject of something else. You cannot change the world. You cannot change poverty. You cannot change nuclear business. You cannot change climate warming. You can do your little bit, but you cannot change it. So you might as well do what you can change, and that is change your life. You can change how you think and you feel and what you do. You can change all the little bits to help other people. You can change things to help yourself. You can change things to make your life a little bit better. You can do all of those things. Those are all in your domain. So the big problems you can't do. You're only a microcosm in the whole of the totality. And much of what is put out by the media is made up and not true anyway. It's made up by scientists who are linear thinkers, and they cannot see the wood for the trees, because even though they are clever, sometimes common sense doesn't go hand in hand. You've got to do what makes you think, feel, and make you a better person. Because when you've done that, things will dramatically change for the better. Do this and be happy.